go any further. It's too deep. What the fuck is this supposed to mean?
Hmm? You're a dead man! Ah! 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 Christ! I'm hit!
There's something lying over there. I hope it's not Mutt. Oh, a nice bit of venison. And something took a good bite of it. Could Mutt have been here? Dead. And robbed of everything, just like Capon left him. And there's no trace of Mutt. Mutt's nowhere around. Someone must have taken him in. It's not far to the herb woman's place. Maybe I should ask her whether she's seen him. Oh, I can't go any further. It's too deep. Have you seen a stray dog around? I thought he was dead, but he's likely still alive.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen any dogs around.
Oh, Sakra. Do you have any idea where else he might have gone?
If I were a dog, I'd go to where there's food. There are plenty of fishermen around the pond, and they're always throwing out leftovers at the tavern.
Do you think he'd go and steal leftover food?
I don't know much about dogs. He could have run into the woods and started hunting. He wouldn't be the first or the last. There's a whole pack of wolves near Samin these days. Maybe your dog's gone feral and is running around with them.
Thanks. Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena, remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskovitz ain't too fond of us.
What have the Troskovitz people got against you? Did something happen?
I'd rather not talk about it, Henry. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about us.
You live completely alone in the middle of the woods. Don't you think I've already got a bad enough impression of you?
And where else would we live, you genius, when we're not wanted? Don't go digging up old wrongs, Henry. And don't insult us.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Troskovitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl and pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
Pavlena is young and well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county, and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often that, well, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's not. True enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Troskovitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
It's a shame I didn't collect fresh herbs.
That was
Good to see you.
one beer.
All bad. Greetings to you.
Maybe next time then.
Aren't those dice sad? Just letting them sit there? What will it be?
My dog got lost not far from here. Did you see him by any chance?
I haven't seen any dogs round here for a while, but I hear there's wolves in the forest causing problems. Just the other day, a shepherd boy from Copenina complained that his sheep were being eaten by the flea-ridden beasts.
Where can I find this shepherd?
Siegfried? He has a hut at Copenina. It's just below the castle, on the back slope of the hill.
And you haven't heard anything else about wild dogs?
Here, in the tavern? No, but there was a fella here who gets by doing a bit of poaching. He said once he was hunting when, right in front of him, a large pack attacked a deer. A mix of wolves and dogs, he said. That's not something you see every day.
Do you know where that was?
How would I know where he goes hunting? But I'd say it was in the forest.
What's going on around here, innkeeper?
Vostatek, Lord von Berghoff's huntsman, is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a cottage near Vidlark Pond. So if you know your way round the woods, you could go and offer him your help. But I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. One more thing. You're not going to believe this, but 2 local lads claim they found a water goblin's treasure.
You have a water goblin here?
It would be a wonder if we didn't, with all the ponds around. He's got a hut nearby. If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden in the reeds.
Where did you say the water goblin's hut was?
If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden in the reeds.
And what did they find there? Are you sure they didn't make it up?
I thought so too at first. They're foolish lads, so I wouldn't be surprised. But then they ordered wine and paid with silver. Their purse was jingling with groschen.
Would you happen to know where I could find these lads?
They often swim at the other side of the Rock Tower Pond. There's a pier there by the dam. That's their spot.
Any other news?
Recently, a bunch of charcoal burners who have their kilns on the hill above the Kerchak Pond came here to have a beer. I started talking to them and they told me they almost didn't make it.
Why?
They said a pack of wolves came after them.
Aren't wolves afraid of people?
That's what I thought too. It's strange.
Did they tell you where it happened?
In a gorge above the Rock Tower Pond. They noticed the wolves watching them from the rocks. If you climb up those rocks, you'll be able to see the whole pond from there.
Did they tell you how large the pack was?
They mentioned 3 wolves, but God knows if that's all of them.
Do you have any more news?
By the way, we've put together this wee fight club here. Would you like to try it?
That sounds good. What's it about?
It actually came about by chance when the miller Crazel and me bet on who has the stronger hired hands. Then other blokes from the village joined in, and it's become somewhat of a tradition. By the way, old Olbram from Zheleov keeps complaining about the Takovites. If you go and see him, I'm sure he'll tell you more about it. But, well, he takes a bit of getting used to, though.
Oh? What do you mean?
You'll see. I mean, here, and that's pretty much everything.
Thanks, innkeeper. That sounds interesting. Tell me more about these fights of yours.
It's really quite simple. You bet some money and fight against 3 blokes in turn. Our first fighter is Hans, a local musician. He may not look like much, but he knows a few tricks. Then we have Bohunek here. He works with horses, so he has more than enough strength to spare. And then there's Fiala. A good bloke, but Dorothy, his wife, has forbidden him from fighting.
I'd like to try the fights here.
Why not? But it won't be for free. If you don't have enough money, try to go and see Crazel at the mill. He recently bragged he was going to send someone here, but no one has come yet. Maybe you can come to some agreement together.
Fine. I'll go and see him, and we'll see.
We've got a great batch of beer today. God bless.
Greetings.
Give me something to eat, thanks.